Hi everyone. Yes, I am back. Ci Clubsport here. No, I haven't posted for a while. I'm still around, still living. So is the car. Still doing its thing. Needs a wash though. Uh, so I just want to go through some of the things that have happened on the car since we last tuned in. Um, so I was having some gear issues with the gear lever, that it would, if you popped it into second or fourth, it had a tendency to pop back into neutral again. Didn't do it in third, fifth, first, third or fifth, only second and fourth. So it was obviously that the bushes and all that stuff on the gears were worn on the linkages, and so I replaced those. We got those replaced at a garage. Just took the gear lever off underneath, had to take the exhaust off and the prop shaft off, and of course to do that, and we just replaced all the bushes and the one that sits in the ball joint of the gear lever. The other thing that was done while the prop shaft was off is I replaced the donut, the guibo, the flex joint. That was no bueno on my car. It was not no bueno, so we replaced that and put all that together, and so much better now. And I had to replace the guibo because every time I slammed my foot down, it would bang. The prop shaft would bang onto the metal bracket of the guibo, so it was totally gone. So the flex joint was replaced, and also that thing in the middle, I don't know what it's called. It's got a rubbery seal around it and it's got a metal bracket. We replaced both of those things with genuine BMW parts. And now the job's left to do is still that door actuator on this side. Still need to do that. I'm going to replace the headlight washer motor because I already have one, because it's the only thing that's leaking. It might just be a seal, but I do have a replacement washer jet unit. I've replaced the headlight covers with some cheap eBay Chinese knockoffs, but they're there. They were a bit of a tight fit with all the tabs that you have to flick over, but it's done and they look so much better now. Sanding them down and everything was just going to be a pain in the arse, so it was just cheaper to get these. They weren't expensive, about 30-40 quid or something like that. We're going to do an oil change. I'm going to change from 5W30 to 5W40, and I'm going to add some Wins lifter tick. Whether that's a good idea or not, I'm going to add it anyway. It hasn't worked in the past, but I'm going to try and do it now, and with the thicker oil, see if it makes a difference. It's still 5, which means the viscosity when it's cold is still going to be the same, but maybe when it's warm the oil will have a tendency to stay at the top of the engine a bit more. Who knows? I'm going to try it anyway. So I've got Castrol 5W40 for that. Also got some 2 litres of power steering fluid. 2 litres of power steering fluid so that I can recycle the power steering. I won't be doing it in the efficient way, which is to get underneath and undo the pipe and let it all fall out. I'm just going to siphon it out of the power steering housing, and then just put fresh in, cycle the power steering by turning the wheels left and right, and then empty it out and put some more in. It's not going to be the most efficient way to do it, but at least it gets some cleaner fluid in there. So those are jobs that need to be done, and we'll get those done in very shortly. So that's it, just to let you know that we're still around, car's still purring along nicely, and all is good. Okay, so this is the squirter for the headlight, which goes just inside here from the bottom, and it looks like there's just that fitting here, and that's it. So I'm just going to make sure that, because it could be that the one of these I've got in right now is fine, and the leak might be coming from somewhere else, so I need to find that out. Thankfully the bottle is currently empty. I've got nothing to squirt on the windscreen or anything, so there should be not a lot of leakage. Normally there is 4 bolts to hold this in. We have 1, 2, that rusty little fella down there, which I'll clean up once I take it off. I don't think that's going to be an issue. And there should be one down there, but as you can see, whoever fitted the headlight last, which wasn't me, Body Shop I think, when we did spread the bumper, has left that one out. I don't know if I've got a replacement, but I'll have a look and see if I've got a replacement thing. It's not a big deal, because it's not like the headlights moving or anything, because it isn't. It's fine. So in order to get the headlight out, we first need to get down in here. Let me see if I can show you. And unscrew that screw a couple of turns. Can you see that? Well, there's a rusty Phillips screw there. Just undo that a couple of turns. That'll make this come out. And then it's just a case of unclipping this trim from here. And also there's a clip on this side here. There we go. Which we just unclip. And then this should come away, leaving this in place. And then we can pull this off. And that's it. Everything should be ready to go. Unfortunately, because it's on the passenger side, this side for me, and not the driver's side, we do have to remove this and this, but that's fine. And then we'll just put a glove over the mass airflow so no dirt gets in. But this is just a case of two bolts here, and we have a pop-up poppy thing and a pop-up poppy thing right there as well. Pop, and another one there. 3 poppy things. This comes out, 2 of those, and unclip from the mass airflow sensor with 2 clips at the back here. Just pop those off and the whole airbox comes out, and then we've got room to work with. Shouldn't be too difficult. And then we'll fill this up to the brim, so put as much pressure through the water as possible. And before putting the headlight back on, we'll see if we have any leakages. So there's the part number, 1307 030 115. This is second-hand unit, automotive lighting. Indeed. I'll put this on top of my newly bought snow foam, which I'm going to use at some point. Wipeout snow foam, Infinity Wax. It even shows you the different ratios to use depending on how soiled it is. I haven't tried this before. This is just a new one for me. The last one I was using was Built Hamber Touchless, which was okay. It did the job, but I just want to try something different. I have no idea whether this foams up in white or yellow. I've got no idea. Yeah, okay, so let's get started on this. I'm going to get my little tripod and my big tripod, and hopefully you guys can watch me do this for a change. Okay, so the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that I forgot to take the squirter cap off, so that had to just come out. And also there was another connector I didn't take out. The great thing with these connectors is no two are the same, so you cannot put them back in the wrong order. Is this just an earthing thing? Looks a little bit dirty, doesn't it? Got a crack there as well. Yeah, there's another one. So look at the state of this thing. It's all cruddy, but yeah, this is, there's a little bit of water left in there, so this is what's going to come out. I don't think we have to take this bracket off. There's a bolt there and a pipe here. Oh, is this single use? Oh, please tell me it's not single use. Oh, jip. I think this clip is single use, guys, which means once I unclip it, well, hot damn in a fucking handbasket. I don't think I have any Jubilee clips. A Jubilee clip would mean I could just rip this off and then just put a Jubilee clip on. And is that a clip at the end as well? No. No, it's just held on by that, really. I'm trying to look where all the dripping's going to, because see the wires down there are getting a little bit all white and cruddy. Yeah, so how did this get into such a state? I might coat the next one in grease just to protect it a little bit. Yeah, this is one of those BMW single-use clips. I'm going to see if my neighbour has a Jubilee clip that small, because I don't have any. If not, I'm going to have to leave this until I get some. Right, guys, so I ended up getting one Jubilee clip, but these are notorious for being a bugger to get off, and I know I've had this off before, so what I must have done was pulled this pipe off and squeezed it back on again, which is probably not sealing properly, which is why we're getting the leak, which might mean this is okay. But if that is the case, why is this so full of crud? Now the only way I can see to take this off is to undo that rusty bolt there and this rusty bolt there. Looks like, I don't know, looks like 8mm to me. So I'm going to see if I can squeeze in there with my little ratchet and undo this and take this whole bracket off, turn this upside down, because there's a bracket underneath, a metal bracket underneath here. I don't know if I can even show it. The metal bracket holding this in, so I'm going to need to take this off to see what's going on. I've only got 48% battery as well, so I need to be efficient on my camera usage, so I'm going to remove that and come back to you. Well, it's off. This one, a little bit too rusty. It took me a little while to get it off, but we got it off in the end. Oh dear. Looks like a lot of water's been around here. So it looks like we need to unclip this from here. That's some solid plastic there. You see, the front of this pushes forward here. It looks like we're going to push it this way towards me. Or maybe not. Maybe it goes. Maybe it goes backwards. Because it can't go forwards. Because how the hell do you get it in otherwise? Alright, I'll see if I can figure out how to get this out. Which is weird because I have done it before. Alright, I've got it separated from the bracket. The way you do it is these lugs here, they stick up, you see, they stick up, and all you have to do is push down on these two, which is quite hard, and then once they've clipped down, then you get a flathead screwdriver just in here and you push it backwards out of the bracket, and that's it. I'd like to put some water in now and find out where the leak is. So yeah, let's have a look here. Oh yeah, man, look at this. Look how loose that is. No wonder it's leaking. But then how did all this get crudded up? Probably because the water squirts out and around here. Look how easy this is to move. Yeah, so we're going to take this off. I can pull this out, I'm sure, and then we'll take the clip off by squeezing the tube, and then we'll get a Jubilee on. Job's a good one. Well, all I had to do was take the clip off here, which I have now transferred onto the replacement one, which is here. This clip just pulls off and it came out, so I didn't need the Jubilee clip after all. So I'm just wondering about this seal, if this seal is good. It looks okay. I'll give it a bit of a clean. Sorry, you can't see that. Is this seal the problem? Well, only one way to find out. I'm going to put the replacement one on as is. I'm going to put the cap on and fill the bottle with water and see if we get a leak. Wow, I didn't need okay, well, that's 50p down the drain, guys, so I'm at a loss for 50 pence here. I think I can survive. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe. Right, let's do it. Well, guys, bad news. As I put the pipe into the replacement one, the purple band, the seal, kind of came down here, and as I took it off, so the only thing I can think of to do, because I don't think I've got any replacement rings, I'll have a look, see if I've got any little seals, but if I haven't, I'm going to have to use plumber's tape. That's all I can think to do. Alright guys, it's game over for today. I'm just going to have to put the airbox back in and drive the car into the garage and leave it like this. So what I've done is, I've ordered a seal kit from Amazon, which basically is a rubber seals. So those, like these, just the box you can get with all various different sizes of seals. I've just ordered those with the hope that one of them is going to be good enough, and that's it basically. So it's just a case of putting the airbox back on and driving the car back into the garage, and then tomorrow I've paid for it to arrive by 1 o'clock tomorrow, so hopefully it's going to be raining here I think tomorrow, so I'll have to do it in the garage. But when the seals arrive, hopefully we'll find one that goes in here. I didn't want to use plumber's tape. I can't find mine. I know I've got some, but I didn't want to use it because I don't want to have to do this job again. So yeah, so we need a seal that hopefully goes in there and then allows me to put it back in the thing, and hopefully it gets a good seal. So that'll arrive tomorrow. Got no choice. I don't even know if BMW will sell this on its own, but even if it does, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. So okay, I'm going to pack away, and I'll catch you tomorrow. See you then. Hi guys, it is tomorrow, and the seal kit has arrived, the O-ring kit, this one, and there is the original. Now the best I can measure it up to is this one, 13 times 1.5. I'm going to bring one out and show you guys, but I've kept the original there. Got to be so careful opening this because they can stick to the lid, and this is not something you ever want to spill. Check a look at that lot. And I've got even smaller ones here, and they even included pick tools underneath. Now, I did read online that it could be a 12.5 millimeter. Don't know what the cross section is, which is like the thickness. Well, the only ones I've got here, cross sections, are 1.5 mil and 2.4 mil. That's all I have. And the smallest 2.4 is a 17, which is way too big, way too big. Now these are the 13s, and if I put down mine, the original, sorry if I move the camera away, I just get distracted. I've got to keep that together though. And this is a 13, which might look smaller, but when you nip the two together, when I nip this one together like that, see, it's pretty much where we need it to be. So I'm going to try a 13. If I say anything, it does look a little bit thinner than the original one. So I don't know what to do there. No point going with a 12 and stretching it. And a 14 is going to be, it's thick, well, I say thicker. When it says 1.5, is that the millimeters or is that the ratio? Is it some kind of ratio? Because I mean, is this 2.4 as thick as this one? No, this is way thicker. So I'm going to try a 14 and a 13, see which one fits, and I'll let you know. Right, well this is the actual, this is a 12 mil. The 13 did go on, but it was a little bit too loose, and the 12 just kind of went on there nicely. See if we can get some focus back. Yeah, so 12, I'm gonna, that's all I can do. It's all I can do. It does move around, there's a little bit of play backwards and forwards, but it's all I have really. So because there's so much stuff in the background, it's hard to focus on it. There we go. So yeah, this is what we have. All I'm going to do is put the motor on and put the cover on, and then just put some water in and see what happens. That's all I can do. Let's do that. Now, before we do that, a big tip, guys. It could be a big tip, this one, for anybody doing this job. When I pulled this pipe out yesterday with the BMW purple O-ring on it, the O-ring looked fine. Obviously it wasn't, because we were getting a leak, so something wasn't fine. Assuming the leak is coming from here. Now, when I put the pipe back in, it snagged the O-ring and pulled it down, stretched it down, and then when I pulled the pipe out, it snapped the O-ring. Now I am led to believe that the reason that happened is because I didn't put the clip on. So what is the clip? Well, the clip is this, and that clip goes on the connector here, and there are right angles and all sorts of sharpie stuff in there which snag the O-ring. And if you have the clip on first, if you pop the clip into place before you put the pipe in, then it's less likely to snag the O-ring, and so it'll go in. So I'm going to make sure I put the clip in first, so I'm just going to see if I can do that one-handed while holding the phone in an arbitrary place. Let me see if I can just pop that in. Okay, so there's the clip on, and that's supposed to make the insides a bit more friendly to the O-ring. So I'm going to see if we can pop this on right now. Okay, so hopefully I won't get in the way. and we'll just pop this in. Alright, hopefully that's sealed, I don't know. And now I need to get the headlight cover, just the washer cover. Give me a second. Right, so this is the cover. We'll put that on. And that should hopefully make the seal. Now I'm going to pour some water in. Now of course, if it turns out that we still get the leak, I'm going to have to order this connector that goes on the end of this tube from BMW. I think it's only a few pounds, but if it comes to that, that's what I'm going to have to do. Right, so let's get this off. This is empty at the moment because it's better that way. Oh, Jesus. I can't bend down without hitting anything. So the more pressure, the more water we have in here, the more pressure. Of course, this is going to lead to a problem in that we're going to fill the system and I'm going to have to take the cover off again. So you can see the issue. I may have to use the squirters as well, because I'm not expecting a leak right now. Oh, this is going to be awful, isn't it? Okay, that's pretty full. Right, now I'm not expecting any leaks here at the moment, simply because I need to do the squirty on the windscreen, which will make that motor kick in. I think this is the motor for the windscreen and this one's for the headlights. So I need to make that kick in. This does not kick in every single time you squirt the windscreen. Only on certain times. It might do it now though. And I'll know that because this headlight will get wet. And then I'll know that this is activated. So I'm going to put this somewhere where it's safe to activate it. Like that. It's going to have to do, I'm afraid. And it's going to squirt water everywhere. But hopefully no leaks. Let's see. Alright guys, so as you can see we've got some squirty action going on. The only way to make the headlight squirt, I had to literally have the engine running. I tried it in all, like position 1, position 2, and you could hear the motor going. You know, this one. It was two separate sounds. There was the one for the windscreen and the one for the headlights. But these weren't coming out. And I think it's because the car decided, well, he's not going anywhere, so you know, he's stationary, so we don't need to squirt the headlights. So it didn't. So I put the, or at least it decided there, you know, ignition off, and so therefore we don't need to squirt the headlights. But this time I ran the car and it squirted it like a good one. This one, however, we got a little bit of squirty, but not too much. So I don't know if these nozzles are blocked or what, or how to clean them. There's probably, you remember that white crud we had? There's probably some of that in there blocked. So I'm going to take that off and blow through here and see if we can get anything out of it. Otherwise I'm going to have to poke a needle into those nozzles and see if I can clean them. Now as for here, it seems okay. I've got water down there, but it could be just from the thing that came out of here. There's definitely water in this system right now. Right? There's definitely water in those pipes because we've fed it through. So if I just leave it like that, I'm just going to turn that a little bit. It seems dry. I don't know. It seems dry. I don't know whether to call it a fix. Now what I do have is some plumbing tape. So I might be tempted to just take this off and just do a couple of wraps of plumbing tape. I don't know if that's going to seal well inside, but maybe. Just a couple of wraps just for extra sealing. So I want to have a look at these nozzles as well and make sure that they're not blocked. This one's fine. The headlight just got drenched. This one, I don't think so much. I had a second pair of eyes on it telling me. So they may be a little bit cruddy, need a little bit of cleaning up. So we can do that. Maybe take this blue painted area off. This bit maybe comes off here and here. Just take that off, and then I can put chemicals on there and clean it out without worrying about damaging this. But before I can do any of that, I need to empty that out. Lovely. Now I do have here a 200cc extraction pump. Not great, but it'll at least get the water out, because either way, when I take that off now, it's going to just piss out of there. So I'd rather have this empty. But then I've got to make sure the inside of this is completely dry before I have it for my next usage, which is to do the power steering fluid. Just take that out and put new in, take it out and put it in a couple of times. Not the best way, but at least the fluid will be a little bit cleaner. So I better start extracting. Do I have a bottle? No, but I've got a jug. When the jug's full, I can throw it outside. Well, that's not very good, is it? It just pisses back out if you don't. What the hell? What good is that? What good is it where it hasn't got a return valve? It hasn't. It's like a. It doesn't have a valve that's just like one way. Wonderful. So I've got to pull up, and then what if I just keep it up? Oh, there you go. So if I keep the plunger up, it's fine. And now I just squirt it into my bucket. And it's at this point I realise how long this is going to take. I should have got a bigger one. Hopefully the next time I fill this up, it's going to be the last time. Oops, I forgot to hold the handle. That's going to be dodgy for power steering fluid and brake fluid, because you don't want brake fluid going onto the car bodywork. That's a big no-no. You better wipe that stuff off quick. Right, I've got a better idea which won't work. You know how I said taking this off and all the water will piss out? This is as far as I can take this though. So we're going to get a little bit of piss. Oh boy, this can't go well. Okay. Oh, that's way too slow. And of course the pipe's pointing up. That's way too slow. That's not good. I was expecting loads of pressure. Oh my god. I've got some crud in there as well. So I've got some crud in the bottom of the thing. I can have a look at these nozzles now. They look like the blue bit looks like it's going to clip off quite easily. I wish I could hold this here, then I could drain in both ways. This can take forever. This isn't the smartest idea I've ever had. Trying to position the phone for you guys, but it's so difficult. I'm on a gimbal here. Did I get it? Yeah. This is not great. But on the pipe, everything seems okie doke. Now, because I've already got some drippage on the garage floor here, I'm going to put out one of these rubber mats. Those. I'm going to put one of those on the floor underneath the car to tell me if there's any new leaks. Now this bottle will take everything. It'll fill. But I thought this was going to squirt out a lot faster. The extractor I used can pump out so much more faster. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to get this emptied and let you know. Right, have I even been broadcasting here? I don't know. So anyway, this is very slow and I'm going to use the other method, and I'm just going to get the bottle empty in the car and then I'll be back. Alright, so the bottle is empty. I actually only took a couple of more siphons and that was it. 2 or 3, that was it. 3, yeah, 2 and a bit. 2 and a bit siphons, it was empty. This blocked. Yeah. Now, how do you clean the jets out? I have blown into there with everything I have, and I'm not getting anything out. I don't know, maybe pour a bit of water in and then blow and see if I can get anything squirting in my face. Otherwise I'm going to have to get a magnifying glass and a needle and try and clean those out. So I'm going to try and do that. Otherwise I'm looking at a replacement one of these, which isn't a big deal because I can put the whole car back together, get another one of these, and it's just a case of getting a plastic trim tool or even a pick tool if you're careful with the paint, pulling that out, yanking it off, putting this on, and that's it, job's done. You don't have to take anything off. So I'm going to go in the house, try and clean these nozzles up. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, there's a nozzle on each one, and I don't know where the blockage is. My endoscope won't go in it too. This is my endoscope, it's a little bit too thick for that, but I can get a torch in there, so let's have a look, see if there's any crud. I love this torch, guys. It's what is it? Blue car, and it's rechargeable. So it's USB. It's USB as the USB socket. It just charges, and it's really bright. Super bright it is. Except it won't. Oh yeah, I can see the bottom. Looks all right actually. Alright, what can I squirt in here, guys, to clear blockage with fine nozzles? Don't know. I don't want to put any chemicals in there because I need to wrap my mouth around it and blow. So yeah, I'm gonna try and just give it a clean. I don't even know whether to put a little brush on the nozzles, but then it's case of hoping that some bristles are gonna go inside. Right, I'm gonna lock up the garage, go in the house, and let you know if I have any success. Right, I'm never short of bad ideas when it comes to fixing things. Even the thought of putting a pressure washer inside there, but it might damage anything that's in here. Just squirter the pressure washer to put some force into it. I'm just thinking, I'm wondering how long this has been blocked, and if the fact that the water can't come out because they are blocked is causing that leak in the first place, because it's building up pressure there. I don't know. All I know is I can't I can't squirt anything out of it, but I'm not short of needles, so I've got needles of all sizes for all occasions, and a bargain at £1.90p. But I've had these for a little while. There's one missing, darn it. See what I did there? No. I know they're not darning needles, so I'm just going to get a fairly thick one because the holes are quite big. I think maybe this one with the big eye. And if there's, I remember an old Laurel and Hardy joke where the guy says spell needle, and Stan Laurel says Neidle. And he says, there's no I in needle. And he said, well, then it's a rotten needle. Classic 1930s Laurel and Hardy. The best comedy duo ever to have walked the planet. And I will die on the hill that says that. Right. I'm going to start poking around, guys. This is a two-handed job for me, so this actually might be a little bit too thick. But we'll see. We'll work with it and do what we can. Well, guys, I think I've had limited success with this. You'll never guess how. I'm not saying it's a fix. Not yet. I am not done with this yet. But look how we did this. Remember this guy who siphoned all the fluid out of the wiper bottle thing? Well, look at this. Push the valve in. Check that out. I sucked in initially to get the crud out, and then I blew and it did pop something, and I'm feeling air coming out of this. When I push this down, I can hear air coming out of this side, but not this one. But if I put my mouth over here and blow as hard as I can't get anything out of it. So I'm just going to take that off, pull the plunger all the way to the top, and now if I push down, oh, it's just popped again, but I can push all the way down. It's hard though, but yeah, there's a lot of blockage in there, I think. So this is one of the last parts to go on the car when we put everything back together. So I'm just going to have to hope that the O-ring seal we've done on the pipe is a fix. And I'm going to put the car back together now. And just before it's time to put this bit back on again, I am going to go with the pressure washer. I've got nothing to lose. I've got the orange nozzle, which is fairly pretty high concentrated, medium. Green is what I use on cars for pressure washing. Orange is a bit more intense. I'm going to use that on this. It might damage it. What have I got to lose at this point? And if that doesn't work, I'll use the red. The red is a very fine jet spray with a lot of power. And I'm quite willing to use it on the nozzles to push stuff through and back out here. Sorry. To use it on the nozzles to push things through and out. but I can use it on this as well and break up the crud, and hopefully it'll fall out, because there is some black bits in there. I have had some black bits come out. The needles don't do anything. I've tried the needles in here and in the nozzles, and you know, it did break away a little bit of black crud, but obviously not enough. So I'm going to start mantling the car as opposed to dismantling, and yeah, hopefully everything goes back hunky-dorily. Alright, I'll get the camera repositioned and we're good to go. Right guys, let's get it back together. Sorry if it's a little bit dark in places and I'm going to be in the way, but yeah, that's how it's going to have to be. So first thing is to get the new bit in. I think we've got enough crud out of there. Give me a sec. Just going to grab a detail brush. Just going to clear some crud from inside here. Okay, I'll do some of this off camera. Alright. Now, first thing, do we have any water on this bottom bit? Well, I don't know, because I've just touched water everywhere. Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, I just touched water all over the place, but not in the place I wanted to test. So, I know these lugs slide in to here, but where? Ah, it goes under the fins. Okay, gotcha. So this goes in here, and then we slide this under the fins there, and that should come forward, and it isn't. Come on baby, come on, poke through. Ugh. There you go, there you go, beautiful, beautiful. She's in. Obviously leaking a little bit since last time, but fine all the way. Now we got these cruddy, bloody cruddy nuts, which I've cleaned up a little bit with the wire brush. Hopefully I won't need to struggle too much to get them in, as I did to get them out. Now, these don't have an exact seating place, so this is going to be a little bit of a thing, because there's movement here on this, and I want to make sure that I nail the exact position where it's supposed to be, because there's adjustment, and I don't want to have to keep adjusting this. So I'm going to have to hope, there's always one, I'm going to have to hope that the adjustment on this is going to be fine. I just want to get them both in first. This one is the bit of a nightmare one, and I can see this screw falling into the car already. I have predicted it, so I'm going to try and preempt that. See if we can get a cloth under here to catch any falling screws. No, it won't. See, that would have fallen in. It won't stick on. Are we in? I don't know. It looks wonky to me. It looks wonky to me. Yeah, I'm not happy with that placement, guys. This one seems to be alright, but I'm not 100% sure on either of them, to be honest. Do you know what I'm going to do? Just out of pure curiosity, swap them over. Try using the right end. I've heard it works better. Now, is there, going by this bracket, yeah, you can see marks on the bracket where the old one was. So using those, there's just rings, you can see where the old one was placed. So yeah, using that I can 100% see what, so we've got to go in here. Can you guys even see me doing that? Not really. There we go. Here. It's probably a bit too bright now for you guys. I put a torch on it, but yeah, baby, knocked it with my hand. Okay, I can see it. Do I have a magnet? Do I help? How do I get that now? Because the bottom of my car is just full of car covers. How do I get that now? Right guys, I'm not going to waste battery on the phone because it's pointless. So I'm going to get the bracket on and then I'll come back. Because this is obviously going to take a while because it's super fiddly. Alright, so she's on. I'm happy-ish with it. I'm never 100% fully happy. But I'm happy-ish. She's on there. Let me see. So that scraggly bolt is in, and that scraggly bolt is in, pretty much in the position where it was before. But if it's a few millimeters out or a millimeter either way, it's not going to make a difference because this has got play up and down, so we've got a little bit of movement anyway. I've also noticed some hanging tape here, so I'm going to put some new tape on those wires here as well. I think anywhere where there's loose tape, I'm just going to redo those. And I've also wiped the bottom of the car there. If it'll focus, I'm not going to do it manually because then it'll, if I manually focus, she'll yeah. So yeah, a little bit of a clean up there. So she's not doing too bad for 22.5 years old. So I just want to make sure that these clips now are lined up for when the thing goes in, for when the bolts go in, and that one is lined up nicely. So is that one. Last inspection then on the connector here. I can't put water through it yet, unfortunately, unless I put the cap on again. But I'm just going to have to hope that it's holding. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but there is some water, or at least some wetness. That could be maybe because I just didn't dry it, but it's around the clip. I don't think you can see it like that. Where's me cloth? Do you know what? I've got so many microfibers, and I'm realizing I don't actually have any rags, like dirty ones that I would use to clean up spillages. I'm gonna have to get some rags. Just get an old t-shirt I don't want anymore. Right, so if you can see this, the pipe connects to the connector here, right where my finger is on that crack. Right, it's not here, it's here. So if there's going to be a leak, it's going to be there, and it's going to be where this clip is. And due to gravity, it'll be on the bottom. Now it all feels dry, but there's no real water or any pressure in the system right now, so I'm not expecting to see any. So all I can do really, knowing that taking the light off and the you know, the whole intake is not a big job, I'm just gonna have to, what can I do? If I wasn't sure that it was sealing, what would I do? The only thing I would do is take that clip off, pull the pipe out. Hopefully the seal doesn't break. If it does, I'll put another one on. But then take the seal off, the O-ring, put a couple of bindings, maybe 3, 4, 5 bindings of plumber's tape, and then put the seal back on and then pop it in. And I think also the nozzle where the squirters go on, I think I am going to get another part. I'm going to see how much they are from BMW. If they're not too expensive, I'll get it from there. Otherwise, I'll get a second-hand one that I know is a good one. Yeah. So next thing to go on is the headlight, which is inside the car on the driver's seat. So I'm going to get that and wiggle it into place. I also got the trim on it as well, so I have to make sure to clip it into here. This is a little bit forwards. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be that way, just bent forwards a little bit, or if it's supposed to come back straight. I'm going to bend it straight. There we go. Yeah. So I'm going to put it in there, and then that's it. It's already clipped on the headlight side, so it only has to clip into here to hold onto the car, and then the headlight can just go in. And then we've got 1 and 2 and more. Where are the others? Oh yeah, of course, here and here to secure it in. And then I think there's 5 connectors. So this is a connector for the indicator, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, is that it? 5 connectors to wire up a freaking headlight of a 22-year-old car. This is because of xenons and high beams and low beams and God knows what, but they're all different, so you cannot plug the wrong thing into the rock. You can't do it. That's what I like about BMW engines as well. All the connectors like these, they're all different to each other. You cannot get them wrong. And I will bet you that the it's not going to make a difference actually. I was going to say I'll bet you the connector for the 2 motors is different as well, but I don't think it would make a difference which way you put it round. I think they're both the same because the motors are the same. However, with the length of that cable, it's not going to stretch to here. Only this one stretches to here. So again, whether it's length of cable or connectors size or amount of pins, you can't mix them up. So that's the beauty of these cars. So what I'm going to do now, before I put the headlight in, I'm just going to get all these connectors that have got this tape and just put some new on it. Maybe add a bit extra so that some of this wire is a bit more protected. And looks like we have a dodgy wire here. See that little snip there, like somebody's intersected that wire for a reason, as if they needed it to feed for something else. You see a little break there? Hopefully that's not going to be a big issue. I'm going to tape around it, and then we'll get the headlight in. Alright, here we go. Everything's taped up. A lot neater now. So I had to unclip this from here, but that's okay. We'll just put that back in. These are all going to vanish downwards. And this one as well. Just put it all down. Goes underneath. And then the whole cable, sorry. I know my camera work, because I'm looking at what I'm doing as opposed to where I'm pointing everything. Right, that goes on here. Clip that in there. And then all these should be readily accessible in the right places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Yeah, I need to fettle this. I don't know whether this one goes... I don't know whether this one goes around that way. I don't think so. Does it go that way? I knew I should have photographed this. Anyway, I'm going to fettle it and then I'll be back. Yeah, so this did go over the top there. And that's in. And they're all there just waiting for their master, which I am now going to introduce. So, let's get the headlight. Okay, so after a bit of fettling, she is in, and the nozzle was the last thing to line up, and then it pushed back. Just making sure now that this is seated okay, and there is a gap, but you know, I think it's the same on the other side. Yeah, see, yeah, you do get that gap, that's normal. Everything lining up here okay. I've trapped my indicator thing in there, so that was clever. I just needed to keep it out of the way. Hopefully I can just move the light forward enough. In fact, yeah, we'll be able to do that. I'll get that out of there. The bolts are all here, and yeah, we'll just get it hooked up and bolted in. 1, 2, 3. That one is way too far forward. I don't know why. Or too far back. What's going on there? Why is that out of place so much? Okay. I'll figure it out and I'll get back to you. Looks good, doesn't it? But it isn't. We have an issue. And it's this. It's not clicking in. Because I don't think that this tube is anywhere near as forward as it should be. It should be a lot more forward. I'm wondering if we've pushed the motor further back. The headlight is all lined up and in place. I've got the motor here in my hands. I'm wondering if it's come backwards. It's nowhere near long enough. I wonder if I can nip it with some... Ah, I know why. I know why. Because you don't put it in like that. You don't put it in like that. What you do is you grab this and you pull it towards you, and then you clip it in, and then you pull back. Yes, 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 I need some pincy things. Right, I'm going to get me pincy things. Yes, I had a little bit of a panic on there, because I was looking at all the screw alignments and the nut alignments on the headlight, and they're all in place. So I knew that was right. And it would be difficult for the motor to go back, because it did clip in, so it would take a hell of a force to do that. I'm not quite happy with this fitment here though. That could be a little bit better, but maybe if I just push the wing in here, just push that in, I can close that up. So we grab this and we pull, and then we get it with our hands, put the bit on, and that's it. I can't do it unless I put the phone on the little tripod here. Come on, baby. Right. So, where's me thing? Where's me thingy blip? There it is. There's me thingy blip. So, pull. Oh! Fuck. You gotta have a good grip. Pull. Grip with hands. It wants to slip back. Pop this in. Can we clip it? I don't think so. It's a bit slippy. Maybe I should grip it with a cloth. Come on, sweetheart. There's a lot of tension. Oh, for fuck's sake. There's a lot of tension on this thing. Oh, I don't have a lot of it here. Oh, it's too slippy. It's too slippy. It's too slippy. It's so wet. It's so wet that it makes it slippy. And if I grab hold with this, give it a bit of a dry off, can I then transfer the grip to there, put this in, click into place, there we go, leave go, and let it go back. Thank you. You had me panicking boy, panicking. Right, the headlight isn't connected up yet. I haven't put any of the connectors on, so we're going to work now towards getting the indicator in. Actually, I'm just wondering here, you know, let me just step over. I wonder if I could push this in. Yeah. I mean, there's a hole there. It's not like, but there's nothing for it to clip into. It's not like the hole is there for it to go click, because there's nothing to click. There's nothing for it to click with. Now, and that's as far back as the headlight's going to go. Okay, never mind, it's not a big thing. Headlight, thingy light. Where did I put it? I did move my indicator so it wouldn't get damaged, and now it's disappeared off the face of the earth. Oh, there it is. I found it! Right, this is the easiest indicator known to man, but it's got some water on it because we have been splashing around. So I'm just going to dry all that. I hope all these connectors are dry as well. Notice there's a connector here. Doesn't do anything, it's just a bit of rubber. But I think what it is, it's just to let air out or in, whatever, to prevent, you know, fogging up. These are smoked headlights, by the way, smoked indicators, not headlights. But yeah, so you just pop those in like that. What is going on here? That's a really bad fit. What's going on? What's going on down here that we've got such a bad fit now? Is that me just not putting it in properly? Yeah, because it's not lined up with that headlight correctly. This is normally really easy stuff. My torch has run out of battery, which is brilliant. Yeah, this is normally the easy peasy stuff. Well, it's not fitting in there at all. I can adjust the headlight. Just loosen the headlight off and move it around. But normally this is a slam dunk. I've only got one ear as well on this, which is not ideal. There's nothing in the way here, right? No, it just has to go in to that slot there. I can't see. The only torch I have is the one on the phone, and I'm using it to film with. Oh, there we go. There we go, it has gone in. But now I've got another issue. The indicator's in place perfectly. All the gaps around here are nice. But, unlike the other side, the headlight is sticking out here, look. So that headlight does need to go back. So I'm going to take off, I'm going to loosen the 3 screws that it's attached with and see if I can pull it back. But before I do that, I'm going to secure the indicator in place because I need that as a measuring tool. Don't want to tighten it too much, I don't want to break that leg. Alright, that's in place, that's nice now. But this headlight, if we manage to push the headlight backwards, it'll also fill this gap up. So we're clearly not quite there with that headlight. Okay, so I've got one here. 1, 2, 3, 4 turns. And 1, 2, 3, 4 turns, 5 turns, because it feels a bit tight. Swap over from 10mm to 8 to get the one at the back. I'm just going to loosen it. 1, 2, 3, 4 turns, that'll do. Now, can we push this back? It doesn't want to go. I wonder if the reason it doesn't want to go is because of this thing here. What's stopping you, baby? Come on, sweetheart. All I can do is push back with as much strength as I have in me. And tighten down the buttons. That's all I can do. So I'm just going to push with as much force as I dare. Probably have to go for another frickin' headlight alignment after this. Oh, it's not tightening properly. The bolt isn't tightening up. I don't know, maybe it was like that before. I don't recall. Yeah, these bolts, they get to a certain tightness and that's it. They just keep turning. They're not the correct bolts anyway, but it makes me wonder if I bought the correct bolts, would they fit now? There's still a bit of a lip there, but I can kind of fix that a little by readjusting the indicator. Man, I just squirted some Geon Prep into here just to clean out the paintwork bit, and it's got a gorgeous smell on it. Oh, it's really nice. It's a chemical-y smell, but it's really nice. Yeah. Prep is just for getting off like any waxes, sealants you've got on your car, so that when you ceramic seal it, you're putting the ceramic directly onto the lacquer. This is way off, this piece of trim. It's way out. There's a big lip there. It's obviously just not wanting to seat in there properly. But I'm not going to worry about it too much. Maybe I can do some adjustments at a later date. This wing is not genuine. I had to replace that wing. It was really rusty. So we don't have, I mean, we got a lot of, yeah, you see, this is the problem with I don't think this is BMW genuine. I don't think it is. And this is what happens. You have this big pointy bit. When the bonnet's down, it's fine. But yeah, we're a bit out. Ooh, that gap is actually quite, that gap has really closed up there now. Okay. But on the other side of the car, the bottom of the indicator lines up flush with this, and I'm not getting that here at all. It's quite a bit out, Yeah. It's a good chunk. I'll see if I can show it to you. Whoops. You see there, look at that lip. That should not be there, that should be flush. So anyway, headlight is in. I still need to connect up or tighten back up this screw here, and then I'm just going to get all the intake back in. Okay, so I've got this in. It's not fully screwed in yet. So there's a thing here, down here as well, see that? Just behind the wire, that bit of plastic there. That's connected to this, and it's like a little tunnel that goes to here. And just see the end of it in there, right where my finger is, blurred. And it goes that way. So I figured connect that first onto this, then fiddle it in. You do have to maneuver this around a little bit, but just try not to stretch this up too much because you don't want to break the rubber. Mine probably is a little bit already, but I don't know. I know there was a crack and we glued it up. I don't know whether it's still sustaining that. What I need is a smoke machine. I'd love to have one of those. But anyway, so yeah, just put it in, all lined it up. Put the two circlips in here, this one and the one on the other side, which is here. Put that in. We're going to just tighten those two bolts up, and then we'll get the the front airbox thing on, whatever. So 10mm here, nice and loose. There's a good bit of rubbery around here, so there's a lot of movement we can have. It's too loose. It's too loose for the ratchet. There we go, in. So yeah, there's rubber here around the outside, see? So we do have a good bit of play. Looks like, yeah, all is good here on the western front. I'm trying to do this with one hand, guys. Because I'm holding the phone, right? There we go, got a bit of tightness now. There we go. All good. Lovely. Right, just one more bit to go on. Let me get rid of the little mini tripod. Yeah, I thought something had fallen down into the engine when I was messing around down here. I thought it was my little pincers that I used to pull the, you know, the tube out with. Turned out they were on the floor, so it wasn't that. So I think there's nothing actually fallen down there. I think the rattling I was hearing when I was working on here, just banging that that trim piece, was just the suction tubing bouncing and rattling around on this headlight. I think that's what all it was, so I'm not going to worry about it. Right, over here then we have the final piece with the clips. This is a nice, lovely, easy piece to fit. Just goes in the airbox like this. And then these line up. We pop that one in there and push down, and then we pop, make sure it's lined up first. It is. And we push it in and then push down on the pin, and that, as they say, is that. I just hope that is now a fix, because if it isn't, we're doing it again. Yeah, so the little schnozzle thing that squirts the water onto this, I am going to replace it and do it sooner rather than later, because if it is causing back pressure, it's going to make that pipe leak again. So I'm going to try, I'm going to clean my windscreen right now so I don't have to squirt it. Oh, I forgot about this guy. I forgot about this dude. There we go. That wouldn't do, would it? So I noticed when I was running the car how stinky it was out the exhaust. Like a really thick, petrol-y, stinky, exhausty smell. But it's nothing I have to worry about, because I think, tell me if I'm wrong guys, but because I had the airbox off, there was no filter for the air. The MAF sensor was just left open. So it was all the air it could suck in, it was sucking in, maximum. And therefore, it was to compensate, it was adding a lot of fuel to compensate with all the air. And I think that's why I was getting such a more petrol smell than usual. I'm sure it'll correct itself now we've got everything wired up and it's getting the correct air reading. So this wonderful thing, oh my god, I wanted one of these for so long, and I finally bought myself one. And oh, what a godsend. Because even if I put some nice lighting up on my garage here, it's not going to work, because as soon as you put the bonnet up, you know, the light would have to be behind me basically, or even behind me and low down. This, oh, and it has this is the high setting, and then it has the lower setting, which is a lot dimmer. Absolutely wonderful. I love it. Alright, let's get things finalised. I need to get the car at the garage now because I need to pop out and get something. So let's do that. Okay, job's a good one. Yes, there's dribbles of water everywhere, but that's just from everything we plonked into the bottom of the car. Look at that mark. It's from where my tyre turned round. I turned my tyre. Let me just see if I'm getting any crap out the exhaust. I think it's alright, but a little bit. I'm sure it'll sort itself out. Anyway, all the lights are working. Yeah. And in case you're wondering, no, I didn't miss it. I did in fact connect up the indicator. She's all good. That's a wrap, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.